Welcome, Queen. Do you do this to people? 3 ways you can ruin your business and your reputation fast. Now, there are times when I can admit I can get upset with people very quickly. And still, there are times when we engage in activities, whether it's in our professional or personal life, and things just don't work out. Have you ever experienced a situation where you were trying to be as patient as you could with a person and they still didn't receive your efforts? If so, then today's video is for you, because you may be doing these 3 things, or you may be on the receiving end of these 3 things. And either way, they're key and critical to know because they can ruin your business or your reputation. Here's number 1: screaming at people. Listen, although you may be upset, and you may be rightfully upset, if you want to move forward with that person, you want to work things out with that person, then typically, especially in a business setting, screaming at a person is not a productive path forward. And even when you're writing an email, if you use all caps, the tone of that is you're upset, and the all caps means you are screaming. Now, I'm sure that everyone does not know business etiquette and business email decorum, I should say, but it's key and critical that you do, because again, if that's how you coming across to customers, to clients, you have to know that that's not going to yield you positive results. If someone asks them about you and what they thought about your personality, about the way you do business, would you want that said about you? That when you get upset, when you get frustrated, when things seem to not go your way, that you start screaming at people? Think about it. Number 2, a quick way to ruin your business and your reputation is to throw in people's face what you did for free. Because here's the thing: if you do something for free, especially if that person didn't ask you to, and even more so if they didn't even recognize that you were doing something for free that you would charge other people for, then you should not have an expectation for them to appreciate something that you're doing that they didn't ask you to do, that they didn't refuse to pay you to do. If you decide that you want to do something for free, then please understand to go back and throw that in that person's face because they made a request that you feel they shouldn't make, or that they should not have made. I'll use myself. I requested a partial refund because of the difficulties and trouble I was having. And in essence, I got a response that said, but look at all of this that I did for free. Excuse you? Who asked you to do that? Did you inform me that you was doing all these things for free? Do these things would you typically charge people for these things? Because I'm looking at some of these things that you're talking about, and I'm thinking to myself, this is standard questions that you should be willing to answer for a customer. And that right there, see, remember last week when I talked about assumptions? See, even assumptions can show up in business, because I'm thinking I'm asking standard questions that a customer should be able to get answered. And the person I'm working with is telling me that, hey, not only do I not consider your question standard, I charge people anywhere from $600 to $1,200. And that's why you need to clearly communicate what your services are and the scope of the project to the person that you're working with, if it's a business situation. In your personal life, the same goes. Make sure that all parties involved are clear on what's happening and why. The number three way you can ruin your business and your reputation fast is when you contradict yourself. Listen, if you send someone an email and you have bold font, you have capital letters, you have exclamation points, you may not perceive that there's a tone there, but there's a tone there. And again, if you want to move forward with this person, if you want to work things out, you want to have a meeting of the minds where you two can come together and resolve things. Contradicting yourself is going to bring confusion. If in one breath you say, I know nothing about that and I can't help you with that, but then in the next breath you say, oh, I apologize, let's jump on a call, let's meet up, let's have a discussion about this, you've just given a person two conflicting stories. So in one breath you said, I can't help you, and then in the next breath you said, but I want to help you. A quick way to ruin your business and your reputation. Now, do you think that I, as a customer, want to move forward? No. Why? Because of the tone of the way you communicated with me. Why? Because of the way you have thrown in my face that, hey, I did something for you and it was free of charge when I didn't ask you to. When you didn't make me aware of your processes and procedures and how you operate. See, as individuals and as business owners, we have a responsibility, we have the duty to be sure that people are clear on what we're doing, why we're doing it, if this is something that you charge for, if this is something that you want to be compensated for, because don't say you're doing someone a favor and then throw it back in their face. Because really you was holding it over their head and you just didn't say it. That's how you come across. So think about that and think about the way that you're operating, whether it be in a professional setting or a personal setting. Because here's the deal. When you scream, when you highlight your free work and contradict yourself, what you're telling that person, especially if it's a customer, is that you take no accountability and no ownership in this situation. That you gave them something they didn't deserve, and that their request that they've made is not justified. As always, I'm Coach Sound telling you that 24 hours doesn't seem long, but in 24 hours you could change your life. So go ahead and do something life-changing now.